Are you ready? We clap one for yourself. Second clap again for the MC. Advance side, retire, side to side there, back to back there, face to face there. Advance side, retire, and mid and roll. Hello, mention. Wabani advance side. As it in a year, Mr. Richard Kemken, coordinator, Confederation of Legal Cultural and Development Association of Tengene. God bless you.
Yes, please. Good morning, dear viewers. We'll be dedicating this show to our brother, last Amindeh, passed away, who was assassinated last Thursday morning in the village of Lebang. So please, we are just tuning in the link to other members. This morning show was to be dedicated to him, as he is known to be our freelance reporter, fighting for injustice, fighting for corruption, development, and freedom of expression. So we honor him in this moment. So we will be doing our best to meanwhile we share the link to families and friends and all the wishes. And further on all the journalists, all the media around the world to celebrate and to honor tonight. And the music is provided by Muchet. Muchet of promoting stage.
Wabani advance side, Nanya Tenta, retire. Oja Nanya Tenta, Obago Bongman come to Yoga. Obago Bongman come to Yoga. Well, all the younger Lambong don't know. Sabago lambin kamodando. Go Are you ready? We clap one for yourself. Second clap again for the MC. Advance side, retire, side to side there, back to back there, face to face there.
Dear viewers of Gaza Media, again, once more, you are welcome to this special edition tribute to our brother Charles Amindeh, who was assassinated by gunmen last Thursday while in the front line of duty, gathering information to uncover the story, to uncover the corruption, to uncover the abandoned project in Lebang Fundong. He's a guy who was very passionate about his conviction, about his people, the less privileged. As Gaza Media, as our policy, we are the grassroots media who are trying to uncover the story of the less privileged, giving them the voice. Amindeh was one of those. In this program, we'll have the Chief Administrator, Mbemba, who is here. Some other guest panelists will be joining us soon. We'll be discussing the impact what Charles created in our community, the vacuum that he has left behind, and what will be the way forward in Lebang, or in the BLM as a whole, in terms of development, in terms of fighting to see that our people are able to at least enjoy their own human right amenities, like the water supply, electricity, road, farm to market road, schools, education, and all those things that build a sustainable community that every human being is entitled to, those basic needs as the Markov law pyramid of health, which means that you must have access to shelter, those basic necessities that you need in life. And those were some of the things that Amindeh stood for. So Gaza Media has put on a eulogy in honor of him. Our phone line will also be open 666-545-2490, so that in course of time, somebody can call in and maybe give their own little contribution. So it will depend on the numbers of calls that will be that will try to limit that. You can make a call for just about a minute, but the chief administrator of Mbemba is here. So after the monologue, we'll go through the history of Charles Amindeh, especially in the era of Lebang Forum, Lebang Fundong Forum, transition to Lebang Forum, what he stood for, and finally to his death. You are welcome. And let me start right now with the tribute, so that I would like you to listen carefully to the tribute that Gaza Media put together for him, so that we can pick out some of the words or some of the things that were put together and maybe discuss on it. Why, if you, so that there's any other thing, then as a reminder, he has been laid to rest yesterday, Saturday, in his own village of Takwa. I think the production is out where people can look at those footages.
That drew attention to the risks faced by journalists and reporters, especially those working in conflict zones. The shooting of a freelance reporter, Charles Amindeh, is a tragic and a serious event that drew attention to the risks faced by journalists and reporters, especially those working in conflict zones, covering sensitive topics and exposing corruption. The suppression of press and freedom of expression, especially by the power that be, is a common practice in many parts of the world. Prior to Lebang Forum, 2 months ago, Charles Amindeh was very outspoken in Lebang Fundong Forum.
Hello?
And some people did not like it and constantly deleted his messages, which were mostly audio. The suppression of messages in Lebang Fundong Forum, which Gaza Media was also a victim, led to the creation of Lebang Forum by Mbembe as chief administrator. In Lebang Forum, people can speak freely with a unique focus of shining the light to contracts and projects in Lebang. In other words, exposing corrupt practices in Menji Council and other related projects. For just 2 months following the creation of Lebang WhatsApp Forum, a lot of information was shared by Charles Amindeh. Information that some people would consider sensitive, but indeed, Charles was exposing corruption in Menji Council and abandonment of contract projects. Indeed, Charles was a no-nonsense guy. And in fact, Charles Amindeh was really the light of Lebang. Sometimes did not even see eye to eye with the chief administrator in some instances because he wanted nothing but the truth. As a matter of fact, Charles Amindeh knew and had a lot of information almost on every issue affecting Lebang. No matter how educated you are, even if you were a university professor, if you chew your words, Charles would hold you to the truth that he strongly believed in. Charles Amindeh also advocated for peace and the return to normalcy. He often pleaded with the voices in the bush to return home, but at the same time saying he knew those that took money from the government to settle the boys, but never did. He advocated for education, even though he did not complete secondary school, but believed that children need education, and wrote a letter to the Ministry of Education asking for the creation and the opening of a school in Takwe, his own village. In her, he wrote and reminded Lukudu USA for a medical outreach in Takwe. Charles Amindeh was not just a freelance reporter, but an advocate for the development in many fronts. The death of Charles Amindeh left many confused, and where Lebang is heading to is nothing but pure wickedness. The public demand that the perpetrator be brought to justice, and we hope the security police is investigating those behind the assassination of Charles Amindeh. The social media has been flooded with condolence messages, and people are very sympathetic, but can they really fight for the cause? Something Charles believed in, speaking the truth and exposing corruption. But the most single unanswered question is, who is responsible for shooting and killing Charles Amindeh? Someone who fought for corruption and for Lebang to reopen. He, however, constantly asked the bank people to pray for him and told the public that those responsible for abandoning contracts were after him. Charles Amindeh was not a trained reporter or journalist. We believe and honor him as one of us in the media sphere, and we will continue to advocate for freedom of expression and the philosophy of speaking the truth and fighting against corruption. Ernest Kumba for Gaza Media.
Yes, maybe that was what we. Let me bring in. I think this our barrister from Boya. You can take off your camera a little bit. Bimbo, let me. Yeah, that we are able to discuss. That was the little monologue that we were able to put together in honor of him, because we from the Gaza media team believe that even though he was not a much trained professional journalist, but his work uh, was more of investigating journalists and a reporter, uncovering some of the hidden story, the corruption and the malpractices that were going on in our community. And we believe that, as he said in his own word, that those people were after him. He said it repeatedly. The recording are there in the air. I have most of the recording that we'll be playing them from time to time in memory of him. And we believe that maybe that's what contribute and lead to his death. Because but let me give you people maybe the opportunity to say one thing. As I explained, I want us to go in this order. When some people have knew Charles for some time, but Charles became on the spotlight during the Bank Forum when his messages were constantly deleted. Mbimba, even at some time when they will be deleted, you will come back and repost it. Then you see that when we talk about suppression of information, freedom of expression, you delete somebody's message. You started by deleting the message. You go down gradually until the point that you have to completely eliminate the person. So that is what journalists and reporter has been fighting for in terms of freedom of expression, where you cannot talk freely, because we believe in most dangerous zone, like our community where there are crises going on, where you are uncovering some of this embezzlement, abandoned contract, people are not able to provide the basic need. Meanwhile, the government are providing money. Then when you begin to tell those stories, they will definitely come after you because they want to block you. You start by blocking your information, depriving you from even sending a message. If they block you, there's no way you find another avenue. They say that they cannot. I mean, we have seen of shutting down of internet in some country, in some communities, so that information should not go out. Hacking of Facebook account and other different platforms. Now, this is where we are today. Mbemba, what do you make of all of this? Let me start with you. And, you have to unmute yourself. Let me send you an unmute. Unmute.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ernest. Thank you, Gaza Media. And my greetings to all the mourners of Charles Amindeh. My heart bleeds when I got up Thursday morning and learned of Charles being shot in Takwa. I couldn't believe it, and I saw the picture. Um, it is up to now, I can say I lack words, still thinking what really happened. I'm wondering how where Lebang is going to from here. I think the killing of Charles makes some of us to believe that truly some people were already there planning to eliminate Lebang. In the sense, I don't know if the killers of Charles want Lebang to remain the red zone. Um, Lebang never started this war. And I do not see why other divisional headquarters in Northwest and Southwest are operating, and Meiji in Lebang cannot operate. This beat me. I do not really know if people, those who are calling for Meiji to open, if they are saying it out of their own, from the bottom of their own heart. So the killing of Charles uh, makes the world to know that people, they are pretenders who don't want Lebang or Meiji to open. Because from all what Charles said, to the best of my knowledge, I never picked any wrong. If Charles said there's no water in Menchi, truly there's no water. If Charles said contracts have been taken in Menchi and not executed, truly there are contracts there. We look at the council chamber standing there since 2015, and it's live. Charles talk about fish pond is live. So where did he really go wrong? That people should do this. I'm not accusing them, but I think that no one is a fool to see what really happened. It is clearly written on the wall. But I believe that the killers of Charles did not do it well, um, because they have to prove, they are proving that Charles was speaking the truth, and they have made Charles a hero. No one comes here to remain, but Charles is a hero in the bank. because of Charles Nkeleban was created. As you rightly says, Charles was unable to express his feelings in some other forums. When you put in the delete them, and it looked like those things were burning Charles in his mind. He was trying to get them out by all costs. And Ken Caliban is attributed to Charles. If there's Caliban today, it is thanks to Charles. Caliban is Caliban for Charles. I mean, let's know this today. If not Charles, I mean, there will be no Caliban. But I think that whoever have done that, those who have done that, they have their reason for doing it, and we don't know why. But on our own common reasoning, we believe that Charles is dying from the truth. But please let people look at themselves and ask, why only in Lebang? In the law, in Wabani, the life is moving there. They have water, they have council chambers, there's road. So in Libya, why only Lebang? Is it the Lebang we are trying to live for our own children? This really bleeds my mind. If truly we want Lebang, if truly our sporting Lebang son would be crucified in his own land. Well, I think that where Charles was killed, Charles blood peeled in the bank, and I believe that our ancestors would not let it go free. Let me give room to other contributors. Thank you.
Yes, yes, maybe I thank you for your wonderful contribution and for actually creating in Caliban to allow some of us, like I said on that monologue, I was also a victim one time, and that was the first time that somebody have deleted Gaza Media Production. I mean, it was astonishing to me. I was surprised because I ensure that I do not violate the norms of any of the WhatsApp group that we have in a different community. But for somebody to come and delete something, you begin to delete. But Charles' case was a serious one because it was constant deletion of messages. Pastor, you are welcome. Oh, I
Thank you
mean,
very much, Gaza.
yes, I don't even know where to start to asking you. There's just a lot to uncover. I don't know. We were supposed to talk about different things, how to uncover some of the project or what is going on. Now, the bomb has been dropped. Now,
Exactly.
yes, where do we go from here? Investigation. Where does investigation will lead us to? After that, what will happen? I mean, I'm just kind of confused what to even ask you.
I understand. I understand. But greetings to everybody. And please permit me, first of all, pray for the soul of Mr. Charles Amindeh to rest in peace. Personally, I did not know him. I just started hearing about him recently. And a few days ago, I was talking with the Lord Mayor, and he told me about his passing. That's how I learned that he died. It's very unfortunate. The kind of work Mr. Amindeh Charles was doing is what we really lack in Cameroon. Most of our journalists they shy away from that area of journalism work because they call those kind of people investigative journalists. Mr. Amindeh Charles, like I read somewhere or heard somewhere that he did not complete secondary school. If I'm not correct, if I'm not wrong, is that true, Gaza Media?
Yes,
Yeah, you see someone who did not complete secondary school, but you see the kind of investigative journalism and the kind of reports and information he was sending to the public, and you just acknowledge the fact that it's not all about school because we have many great journalists in the country who have gone to school in Cameroon and abroad, but we cannot really see what they have done with their profession. So for someone like Mr. Amindo Charles to sacrifice his life in that kind of way, at least like Pa said, he's now a hero because all of us now we always look up to him, to his spirit and his soul, like someone who did something great for Lebang people and for the Libya Lem community. However, what has happened has happened. But I will say a word and I will encourage the judicial authorities because Cameroon is a state of law and order. We are not living in a jungle where people can just do things anyhow. So I encourage the authorities, especially the authorities up.
Yeah, we lost a little bit of your audio.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yeah, good.
Yes, so I was saying that I'm appealing to the judicial authorities and administrative authorities, but the judicial authorities in Libya Island most especially, they should initiate swift and very fast and thorough judicial investigation to determine the cause of death and the perpetrators. And all those who are involved directly or indirectly in the death of Mr. Amindeh Charles should be brought to book and justice should be served to the Libya Island people in particular and to Cameroonians. That one is very important. Even the senior divisional officer, all the stakeholders in Libya Island, they should take it as a personal matter because someone like that cannot just die and they just close the chapel. It cannot happen like that. So now, however, that is that. Then coming now to the question that you asked me in relation to the issues going on in Lebang and how to uncover cases of corruption. We have projects that were awarded, the projects were never executed, and we have contractors who were awarded contracts, they misappropriated the money. But I want to first of all say something. Yes, many contracts were awarded. It's not only peculiar to Nke Lebang, or I mean to Lebang. It's not only peculiar to Lebang. That's the case in Cameroon because we are living in a country where they award many contracts year in, year out. Because every year you go through the annual budget, you see the number of contracts that were awarded. But the next year you will not see the execution of such projects and contracts. And what is pertinent is the fact that it's not only the administrator, it's not only the contractors who don't do their job. If the contractors don't do their job, it means the administrators, the government, they in one way or the other compromise themselves.
You're referring to the local government.
Yes, in that way, the
Mhm.
local government, government authorities in place,
Mhm.
the council, and the administrators in place there in Lebang. Because the administrators, let's take the case of the council, the mayor has the duty to see to it that projects, contracts that were awarded by the council were properly executed. If the projects and contracts were not executed and the mayor folds his hands and sits down quietly, it sends a very clear message that he participated in the non execution of those contracts. Because somebody will not tell me that a right thinking mayor will award a contract to a contractor, the contractor will not execute the contract, then the mayor will just sit and fold his arms and is in good terms with the contractor. That's not possible. But in most cases, when you see that contracts that were awarded were not executed, it shows that the administration or the council are accomplices in the non execution of those contracts. That's the fact. That's the fact.
Mhm.
And contractors know very well that the mayor or the council and the administrators have been compromised. And that's why you see they know that nothing can happen to them because it's a chain. It goes round. It goes round. But
Yes.
however,
Go ahead.
you wanted to say something?
No, go ahead.
Yes. But however, what is important now to the people of labor is that they should know the number of contracts that were actually awarded and the contractors who were supposed to execute such contracts. That's the problem that we are facing. We cannot have access to information because the information to have access to information is from the information that we can now use it to hold the authorities, the council, whatever authority accountable. And that is where the fight against corruption is. That's the heart of it.
Yes, okay, Barrister, let me ask you this. Uh, Charles Amindeh was even accusing Mbemba, he's right here, that you cannot,
Okay.
yes, that you cannot give money or ask the fish to go buy a net or a hook to come and fish them, meaning that what he was directly saying is that, because he was speaking in kind of quoted language, what he was directly saying that
Yes.
if you are asking
Parable.
for those contracts, that the mayor is the one who's supposed to execute that contract, then you want to investigate to see, then you are directly asking from the contract, from the mayor, that there are different offices ahead of CONAC that they have all this contract. That is where we should go and get information and say, okay, our report showed this, because if you want to investigate me, you will not come and ask for me document, because there are other offices that have those documents. So what do you make of that analogy? Where should we have this contract? Should we go to the mayor and say, give us what you have? Then we turn around and use it to investigate him, or should we go to a different office?
That's a pertinent issue. You know, the mayor is the head of the council, and if you want to have information concerning the council, you have to pass through the mayor. Okay. And the mayor has that duty to give out information to the people in his municipality. It's a duty, and he is obliged by law to do it. And that's why when you see the letter that I wrote to him, I clearly stated that he is at liberty to give the information amicably, or I will initiate legal proceedings that will make the court forced to order him to give me the information. Now, the resistance that we are facing is that the mayor, the authorities are hesitant to give out information. Maybe because they have done one or two things that are not wrong. Maybe true, maybe not. We are just saying for now. We have not concluded. Only the law can say that somebody is guilty for something. But however, if the mayor is resistant and is hesitating to give out the information, we can also pass through the DO's office, because we know the DO's office, the DO, acts as a supervisory authority over the council and the mayor. We can petition the divisional officer to give us to order the mayor to give us information relating to public contracts and projects, contractors, and all that. That is one area. There is also the Ministry of Public Contracts. We can pass through the divisional office of public contracts. We can write an application to them for them to give us the information, and they can give us the information, the ones that they can give us. Also, there is the Public Independent Conciliator's Office. The Public Independent Conciliator's Office is situated here in Boya, and it manages disputes between the people and councils. So, like for instance, if the mayor is hesitating to give out information, we can file a complaint against the mayor at the office of the Public Independent Conciliator, who will try to see how he can order the mayor to release the information. However, all these structures that I have mentioned, even the state council, you can go through this. You can file a criminal complaint at the level of the state council's office, which will initiate criminal proceedings for the mayor to give out the information.
Yes. Yes.
However, yeah,
No, yeah, yeah. Before we continue with that, because this is the core of what Amindeh was fighting for. So I'm not actually deviating from his truth, because I just believe that we will continue, because I recorded so many messages that he said, but he constantly hammering on this issue of contract, crying that there's one old pa, 90 years old, I think Pa Ashu, and one lady. He keep crying. When we had a meeting, Master, you may not have. I don't know if you watched that interview or that mini town hall meeting.
I'm not sure I watched it.
Yes, where the mayor was saying that everything is done, that they pay the people off. We'll have a meeting with the local people. Those were his words. They're online.
Okay.
Yes, that he has a meeting with the local people and pay them off.
Yes.
Then later on, people sent information to Gaza media that contradicting what he was saying, right? I mean,
Okay.
one of the local person. So, Barrister, what do you make of that? That if a mayor comes out and say these people have been compensated for their land because of the impact assessment, because if you want to construct a project or build a road that will pass through somebody's land, then you compensate the
The impact.
person. Yeah,
Yeah,
impact
Yes.
assessment
Dr. Ernest,
policy.
Dr. Ernest.
Hmm.
Yeah, I may want to come in before you go there.
Yeah.
The point of barrister from us obtaining information from the mayor. And you mentioned of my disagreement with Charles, which is true. Caliban is a forum now moving towards 1,000. But by the time Charles died, Caliban had about 900 or more members. And at times they will pick on me, Charles will pick on me. I want to make this very clear that uh, we are, Cameroon has its own, Cameroon government has its own way of operating. But Caliban is at the point of consumer. And as I learned in Cameroon, there is the contract owner and there is an owner. There's a beneficiary, which we come to say is that legal procedures can be done by other individuals. But my belief is if the government allocate money for water to be in Menchi, there should be water. If government allocate money for road, there should be road so that the beneficiary can benefit that road. That's where my disagreement was with Charles. That my focus is let these contractors go and do that job. We need that water in Menchi.
No, no,
If
Mbemba,
that road,
the thing was that
no, 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 let me come. When the point of requesting information from the mayor, when the mayor got sent a message through a councillor to Caliban that he is willing to cooperate with Caliban, he will submit us the list of the contracts he has awarded in Meiji. Yeah, that was the best way of working because he's the one who award the contracts. He knows the contract that have been executed, which one that I have executed. So we're waiting for him, and there's nothing wrong for us cooperating with the mayor to get the right information. But our advice is, while getting this information, let the contractors make sure that job is being done. That is our position. Thank you.
no, yes, Mbemba, we get it because the thing, the water. Remember the waters project? I think I've said that time and again. The interview that we had with the mayor, where he visited the United States of America in Maryland, that was way back in June. We are now almost at the end of the year. That is almost like getting to 6 months now. Then after the town hall meeting, Nkeleban started. It's been 2 months, right? So
Yes.
the patient is running out. That's why people keep saying, okay, if he's not willing, then we move to a different place that we know that we can get this information from. I think that was what Charles was actually saying, that if the mayor is resistant to give, then let us move to a different office where we can receive information. I think that was where the argument, where uh, Charles was disagreeing with too. And more often, Charles was saying that the person, the Kudu Cameroon, which you say you were working with, that they should, that it is not a competent, they have not been competent enough because all of these things have been going on until in Caliban. The Kudu have been existing for long. The president general, the cabinet were not able to follow up all of these things. Otherwise, we wouldn't have even been here. If the Kudu was actually doing the work that they were supposed to do and say, okay, what happened? How long was the chamber, the mayor office abandoned? I mean, under mayor of Barrister Fondon, not the current mayor. How long has that been? Since 2015. We are now in 20, almost 2025, 10 years. That building is still like that. That's why you cannot even contribute. You cannot even contribute that to the crisis or to the war, because 2015 there was no war. 2016 there was no war. 2017 the BNM was still calm until late or early 2018. So these are the things that Charles was saying, that we cannot go back to the same Lukudu, which have not been doing what they're supposed to do. If they were following up, maybe some of those things could have been resolved. I think that was the kind of a disagreement. Let me
Yeah,
bring
let me make a comment there about the kudu. Now, Dr. Ennis and
yes.
Gaza Media, you
Uh-huh.
can see for yourself that what you are doing for the BLM community, for Lebang, you haven't done that before. You started from Lebang. And I believe that in Lebang is willing to cooperate with any Lebang person who is able to stand up. Lukudu is about 40 years old today. And we cannot be treating the Kudu meaning on the past. We have to fight. The Kudu is a very good organization for Leban people. So if we can straighten them to stand up and start doing their job, there's nothing wrong in that. We cannot go today and scrap the Kudu to start another Kudu. So I think that for the Kudu General President to accept working with us, that may be a better approach for us to moving forward. So my approach is let's move Leban forward. The done is done. We can't go back 40 years. But if the Kudu can start from now on this issue of getting rid of illegal people,
Yeah, I think
thank
the
you.
CEO Emeritus is here. I don't want to divert it, but you also think that, let me pull back on this. Because when I have the interview with the President General, I asked him his communication with the mayor. How is he working with him? He gave his own response. I think the public were not satisfied probably with the answer, and that's why there was pushback on you. Because if you ask the President General, what has been your relationship with the current mayor since he came to office? What have you been able to do? If the answer were satisfied, nobody would say, why do you have to go with the Kudu? And a lot of people on Caliban, over 800 people, see with what Charles was saying. I'm just advocating for what the people are saying. Mr. CEO Emeritus, you are welcome.
Thank
Uh,
you.
yes,
Thank you, Gaza Media. And I'm sorry for coming late. I had guests here
okay.
from Cameroon, so I've been very, very busy. But just to join the conversation, it's really a sad day for us. Each time a Lebang son, a Lebang daughter, a BLM son, a BLM daughter loses their life in the manner that, Mr. Charles did, it's never a good thing because he's one of us. He has family. I just so that people understand. Charles comes from the same village with my mom. He's been somebody that I have known for a long time, since I grew up in Menji. Most of the people from Takwe, Ngangale, Wenchen, they usually when they leave the village or stop by in our compound, get a shower, change their clothes, and then go to the market. So I know most people from that area. And Charles, as every human being, was not a perfect person. Um, for many of us who have known him for a long time, but there's one thing that everyone who has known Charles for a long time would know. That's why locally we call him barrister because he's an advocate. It's always been an advocate for truth and for the underprivileged. If you go to Menje, ask people, most of those who came up from, who are from Takwe, Ataonge. Charles is also one of his parents from Ataonge. They will tell you that Charles used to, they call him barrister because a lot of our people down there used to be marginalized by the court system, by the legal system. And Charles will come to Menji and represent them and fight for them. He will carry files, entering offices upon offices to help. You go to the legal department and challenge and challenge attorneys and challenge the people of the system. So it's always been an advocate, and because of that, some people didn't like it. And people who are advocates, they often very straightforward, and sometimes they also don't know how to be political, astute or straight in their in what they say. They don't sugarcoat. They speak the truth, like the Nelson Mandelas, like the Martin Luther Kings, spoke the truth, and you see they were killed because they were blunt.
Yes.
So and Gaza Media, I know, Mbembe, I thank you, Mbembe, for all that you do. But I think I also, just so that I can provide context, I know you said Gaza Media came on board and started fighting when Lebang was from. No, Gaza
No.
Media has been doing this for a long time with, for our community for a long, long time, since it started, especially with Lekudo USA. But there's also something before I give the mic back. There's something with our community that it really gets me angry. This issue of accountability. Every time people want to confront the actions or inactions of leadership, especially in Cameroon, people just say, you know what, no, 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 let's write it off and start a new page. And that is part of the problem with our community, that we cannot grow. People just do not like accountability, whether it's Lekodo National leadership. No, it doesn't work like that. I mean, until we get over this Lebang, all these things we talk about contracts, every time we say, oh, somebody was supposed to do their job, they didn't do it. Oh, we should just forget about the past, write that past off, and start from today. Then I think that is exactly the problem with the contracts. That's really what it's driving. As I said, I mean, I grew up in Minji. I don't think there's anybody in this panel who knows these issues of contracts, because Menji is a hotbed of politics in the BLM, right? Most of the big contracts come to Menji. I grew up, I can tell you after history about abandoned projects, mismanaged projects, and I mean, it's deadly. And I think if we do not sit up, we if we want to fix this thing for our own interest as Lebang, there needs to be accountability. We can't just say, oh, no. I think accountability doesn't mean people have to crucify people or leadership, but it means that people have to also take ownership and responsibility for things they did not do, for their inaction, because that is the only way now people can trust that there's going to be a corrective action taken,
Yeah.
moving forward. And also, there has also been this talk where they say, oh, Lekudu is only Lekudu that can do this. Please, I really want to dispel that, because I said I grew up in Minji. There are a lot of abandoned projects. There are also people, as people will know, who have gone to jail because of abandoned projects. There are a lot of projects today that were taken by councillors. And the list of projects, and what really offends me is that people are scratching around and playing politics, right? And they are saying they are waiting for the list of projects from the mayor. Are people serious? A lot of those people, even writing a letter, they know the list. Some of them have this list of projects, and that is where you begin to see the dishonesty that exists in our community.
Community.
Why
So
not just put out the list of the projects and say, you know what, Lebang, this, on go to any of the offices in Boya, at the treasury, or the logbook, the logbook.
no, but yes, Terry, I think people may have it. People are afraid to release that now with the killing of Charles. That now it puts so much fear on people. Okay, let me go back to this. Terence, thank you for that. I mean, you said like you were not here when Barrister uh, insinuated and stated very clearly that even though Charles had maybe did not complete secondary school, but he said this man is very intelligent, that the kind of work that he was doing investigating journalism is that even professional trained journalism, those that have PhDs in reporting, cannot do that kind of work. And you just came in and you are confirming to it. I mean, I saw a document with Charles' signature writing to the Ministry of Education to create a school in Tapa. I mean, what else can you ask for somebody like that? I mean, the document are there, received, stamped. His name is there and his phone number on that document. I have it with me. I mean, these are people, this is somebody that he fought for everything. I mean, when I sat back and look at it, he even reminded, I think, the currency or that before the former CEO Atem Teren leave the office, he promised, because he has advocated to the USA that they should come and do American outreach. He saw one an NGA and came back and reminded that, hey, don't forget about Takwe because there's a lot of population of the bank. I mean, the list is long. Somebody advocating for the development of the bank. And here we are talking about, I mean, he's no more.
Yes, so let me speak to the school because I said that lower Lebang, it's most of my mom's family, and the school project. Charles reached out to me multiple times. He wouldn't even let me rest, and he said, "Look, uh, uh, Takwe people, many of them are illiterate today, including him." This is what Charles told me, that he is, if he went to school, he thinks that he would have been a better person than he is today, and he really, really wants the Takwe, people around the Takwe and Gangale, area, King Kong area, to have an education, because all they do is that when the child grows up, if you're a girl child, you get to a certain age, 13, 14, 15, they start thinking about handing you over to a marriage. And Charles really wanted to change that. And he asked me if Lekudu can come and create a community school. So I tried to work with Mr. Fidel Time and so many other people down there in Takwe, because
Okay.
Takwe today is the most populated
Uh,
um, settlement, right? Most people from Menji, all this other area, when the war came and it was hot, they ran to Takwe because of the forest, the forest, and they felt safe. So we
Mhm.
tried to create a community school there, a local school there. It was impossible. Charles said, okay, he's going to work with the divisional delegate of basic education and Pat Sabas to try to create a school there. And he just was going to Moya, Douala, went to Yaoundé, paid his transport, followed up, sent people back, send information back home for people to sign documents, send him signatures. So, as I said, for many who know Charles, as every human being, had his positives and his negatives, right? But for the positive part, the
No, but yeah, because Charles was very, very knowledgeable. All this issue, I remember when Professor Kemsa said education is not just about going and having higher certificate.
yeah,
It's how much you can use your knowledge. But this is somebody who was saying that he had other first school, but he's able to comprehend and analyze situation far more better than some other would think that we have gone to school. Barrister, okay, maybe but before I come back to you, the issue of where in Caliban will be heading to. Barrister, let me ask you this question. Now,
okay.
yes, if you requested for this kind of document to continue to advocate for, to uncover the truth or whatever they're hiding, so now that you have written, say to the mayor, with the hope that he complies or he doesn't comply. Okay, let's say he complies. Then you have the list of all these contractors. What will be your next move?
No, yes, exactly. When we have the information, we have to study it. We do a proper investigation of all the contracts that were awarded. You study the contracts that were awarded. You go to the field. You have to see the contracts. If you see that a contract was actually awarded to a particular contractor, but you cannot find that contract being executed on the field, it shows that there was a problem, there was corruption somewhere. And in that case, first you hold the contractor responsible. You hold the contractor responsible. And also, even the mayor has to be responsible also because he has a duty to make sure that contracts that were awarded by the council are executed. If they are not executed, he carries the blame. He even carries majority of the blame because him and the contractor will go down and all those who participated in the contract process, especially those who followed up the execution of the project. Because while the contractor is executing the contract, we have administrators from the council or the government who are following up to make sure that they're actually doing it. Not just doing it, but doing it according to the way it's supposed to be done as per the contract. So if the contract was awarded, you go to the field, you don't see the contract. Normally, that means money has been diverted, misappropriated. They have embezzled the money. And if the contract is not there, you find out that the council actually paid out the money already. So where did the money go to? It's a serious question. So from a legal perspective, I think in that kind of situation is just to file a criminal, is just to initiate criminal proceedings against the council, the contractor, and all those who participated in the contract process to hold them accountable, because in the course of the case, they will explain how everything transpired, how they were awarded the money, where did the money go to, and who benefited from the money. And if at the end of the trial it shows that they are found guilty, then they will be sent to jail. As simple as that. Because that's what we really lack in Cameroon. And as how the senior man has said it, there is a problem of accountability in Cameroon. Leadership, most leaders think they can just do and undo. People cannot hold them accountable. They cannot answer questions. They cannot answer questions when it has to do with accountability and finance. And when it concerns the government, the problem that we have in Cameroon is when you see that procurement, contracts, execution. That's the heart of it, because that is where money circulates. So if there's a problem in that area, you know that money went to the wrong pocket. And if money went to the wrong pocket, those who benefited from that process should be held accountable. And if it means that they have to go to jail, then they have to go to jail, because we have to set the record straight. We cannot close our eyes and allow our leaders to be misappropriating our resources, because Cameroon is not going forward. Let me limit it to Lebang is not going forward because the money that were sent for projects were diverted. And that one is very true. Even growing up, we're hearing how money was sent for this project, but well, they misappropriated the money,
Yep.
and that's how it is always. And like I said it, contractors don't act in isolation. If contract was awarded to a contractor and the contractor did not execute that contract, know that the authority participated, are accomplished,
Yep.
because it's the authorities who make sure that who supervise and approved
Yeah.
that the contractor actually executed the
The work.
contract. But you see the situation where they have awarded contract, the contract was not executed, but they have already disbursed money, they have made payments to the contractor, but nothing is seen on ground.
Then it
But the
means that
authority,
yeah, it means that somebody connive. Means that it's a kind of yeah. I get the point.
it there are okay.
No, go ahead. Finish up. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that there are stakeholders. It's a chain in the process of awarding contracts and the execution. There is a particular body department for confirmation. They have to approve that yes, the contract has been done like this. They approve now before payment is made. So if there is no contract on the field, it means that somebody approved a contract that was not executed and somebody made payment that he was not supposed to make. So you see that it's a chain,
Yeah.
and all the administrators they participate in that process. It's high time we start holding our leaders accountable. When other stakeholders or potential leaders or leaders tomorrow they see that we are holding leaders now accountable and they are going to prison because of corruption, tomorrow when they take over positions of power, they will sit up and do the right thing. They
Yeah.
will sit up and do the right thing.
I think that's what the Agosha has constantly advocated for. That the first thing is when you have the contract, as we are explaining, you get this contractor, you can write to them and say, okay, maybe amicably they may respond and say, okay, we'll go do the work. If they do it, then we'll end there. If they don't respond to it, then you continue what you are trying to explain. Now, in Lebang, we have already stated, from the beginning that uh, Charles Amindeh was, when we're talking about Caliban, he was the instrument. He was not light. Because he was actually the person that was with that touch in the field, shining and say, hey, where is this cobweb? Where is this hiding? Where do we go from here?
Thank you again, Dr. Ernest. I see people just joined in now. I think Caliban, we have to read Caliban to Charles. And I believe that, or I want to say, the killing of Charles made Caliban more stronger, made Lebang more stronger. If Lebang people think that we can change Lebang, I believe that the killing of Charles give us more strength. Every Lebang person has to stand up now and believe that if Charles did not stand up, men we could have been taken in a surprise. Because why is it always Lebang? Lebang. Now, Menji is a mother division or subdivision in Libya as a whole. Alo and Wabani, they came out from Menji. Why is it that we have to be comparing development now from Wabani, from Alo? Alo should be learning from Menji. So why is it that in Lebang is not the only place in Cameroon where contracts are awarded? Why is it that when a contract gets to Lebang, stories have to start getting in and there? Does it mean that there's no one to ask? I think every Lebang person, we should stop complaining. We should all stand up. We should all stand up. No one will fight for us. And I believe that the killing of Charles, those who killed Charles made a mistake because it will make Lebang even more stronger. If we cannot see it, let's see it now. Because there's no reason. I was home on January 20th, I was in Cameroon. I went right to Azi. And it was embarrassing to me that they graded the road from Alo to the boundary and stopped there. So why? And then there's this thing that I keep hearing contractors say insecurity. They should stop lying. But our question is, if there's insecurity for a contract and that money remain in the government treasury, that's fine. But if you say there's insecurity and then you collect the money, how do you collect the money when there's insecurity? That's where Calaban is. If all the contract that have been
So,
wanted has not been done and the money is still with the government treasury, that's good and fine. But if you have taken the money and you turn around and say insecurity, then you are the one creating that insecurity in the bank. You are the one policy that the war should not finish in the bank. So all those contractors who have taken the money, to the best of my knowledge, if they can save themselves, let them go and do that job before start happening to them. Anyone that is in, if you collect money or if a contract is awarded to you and you do not execute the contract because of insecurity, good and fine, and you're going to stay in the government treasury. But bet you, if you collect a dime from that money and you do not do the job and turn around and say insecurity, you are the one promoting that insecurity in Lebang. In Lebang, people, Lebang is secured now. Go and do the job. I'm not responsible for the boys in the bush, but I think that Lebang people are not that stupid. Why is it only Lebang? Jobs are done in the law and Wabani. They should stop pretending. But every Lebanon has to stand up, every Lebanon man has to stand up. And let me dive to this issue of the Kudu again once more. Please, and Caliban. I think that every independent member of the Caliban has the right to follow the contractor as one.
Right.
It must not be Caliban. It
Yeah.
must not be Kudu. So everybody individual, like what the barrister is doing. Barrister posted his request on this forum. I deleted it because I didn't want it to act as if Caliban have sent barrister to the mayor. But barrister has his right as an independent Cameroonian to follow whoever he want to. So people should not stop doing what they want to do and believing that the Kudu has stopped them. We have our
But,
own.
the issue when somebody deletes something, if you delete something, you must give an explanation
Right.
because I'm very scared of this issue of deleting
Yeah.
because I started by saying deleting somebody's message. You delete the
suppression of
message,
information.
yes, information. You suppress information. It get to a point where we delete that person. And this is what has actually happened
Yeah.
with our brother. They
Yeah.
started by deleting his messages.
Yeah.
It get to a point where, oh, we could not delete those messages. Let's just delete him completely. So I just want to caution that.
So,
Please.
so
But,
that,
but let me come in there, Doctor. When I
Mhm.
deleted Barrister's letter, I explained that
Okay.
Barrister has the right to go straight and get information from the mayor without passing Caliban. But Caliban will be happy to receive results. because we do not know how long the mayor will take or the barrister will take to do that. But it should not. But in
No,
the light of that, I'm
but
sure they will
at
do
least
that.
if you make a move,
Thank
he's
you.
free to share with the
Correct.
community that
Correct.
we can rally and support him and say, hey, this is a good move. Do you need any financial assistance, maybe to pay transport? Can we contribute something, or can we give you some more idea? Can some other lawyers in the house to also join him to fight that fight? I think that was the direction in which somebody shared that document because
Yeah,
he
but it
wanted to
wasn't.
be
It wasn't
transparent with public
explained. It
information.
wasn't explained. It wasn't explained. The reason of the document because the question was people were calling me now and said this is contradiction. We have already sent a request to the mayor based on the mayor's request, and then another letter is coming from the barrister requesting the same information. No, the person who posted the letter never explained the reason for that barrister letters coming here.
Okay.
So I believe that explanation is the key. If you put
No, because
information,
even
let
Gaza
people know.
Media, I have openly when during one of the very first meeting, I openly requested that information right here on Gaza Media and said, hey, the lawmaker, can you provide me with all that information? I mean, as the media, we still have the right to request those information.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So Gaza Media, let me say something, and I
okay. No,
think
let me just give this announcement, please.
okay.
I think the contribution for Charles family is still open, and the Momo number in Cameroon is 682202435, and the Z number in the US is 781-346-5728. So if you want to chip in anything to support, especially Charles's mother, you can do that through any of these contact. Yes, CEO. Before you go ahead, I think you wanted to say something, but I wanted to ask you a question that in our community, like kind of carry out some of this kind of story, investigating not necessarily the media, like in places like Kenya, Tanzania that have followed some of their rural community development, they have local NGOs that they do activity like this kind of project. They will go around and actually write a story and publish and document and say, okay, with this community, sometimes the student will use that for their project. So that is one way that we could get information. But in Lebang, we do not have any local NGO. Just imagine that the council hall was there, nobody ever knew about it, or this project was given, we don't know when, until at some point individual has to go get it. We don't actually have a legal entity that they can do some proper documentary, say a bridge or a hospital that was supposed to be rehabilitated or a bridge and it wasn't completed. A local NGO go in there, talk with local community, find out what's going on, do a proper story, document it, and have it on their file. Where somebody like a barrister, if you go there, you will have like, okay, this is a registered NGO who did this kind of reporting in rural community development. We do not have that in our community. Is that one area where we are missing some of the pieces where we can actually begin to have more some of this information, concrete, scrutinized, well documented, which is authentic.
Right. No, thank you again, and that's a very good question because as we seek to address these challenges that have been very endemic and very deep in our community, Lebanon, I think uh, being more solution oriented, solution focused, it's important, but also being more proactive. It's important, right? Not being reactive each time there is um, embezzlement, mismanagement. That's when we come in. So personally, that is the way I always look at things. That okay, I try to define the problem and try to figure out how can we proactively prevent this from happening again. Why we shedding light and holding people accountable. So we're gonna be operating in that space because when I was in Menji, when I was managing an NGO, that's one of the things I was doing. People would tell you in Menji, I was very, very forward deploy, aggressive when it comes to advocating for the local communities. I had projects, I would go to the mayor, go to the council, and educate also the local communities that look, you have these projects, this is what you have to do. And sometimes I will help them with the process of need identification, go to communities. So I feel very strongly about that. And I think that is something that has been missing. And education It's a very big part of this, right? Even sometimes we blame the counselors. To be honest with you, you'll be surprised. A lot of counselors don't really know what they are supposed to be doing. They don't know that they are there to represent their local constituencies, right? And they also
Exactly.
don't know. Yeah, go ahead, Barrister.
Yeah, I was just saying that's true. What you're saying is true. Most of them don't know what they are actually supposed to do.
Right. So, and
Yeah.
we are going to be playing big on education. We're going to be playing big on capacity building. Because even the leadership of the council, I think many of them are very educated, but we also need, you see, Dr. Kumba, you realize in the United States when you work somewhere, there's always capacity building. They're always having ongoing trainings because they understand that you have to continue to remind yourself about what you need to do and how you need to do it. So we're going to play a lot on capacity building. We're going to play a lot on institutional strengthening. I mean, inspire bright futures on institutional strengthening. We're going to also be working at the level of the communities to set up, to structure them better, right? Because part of the problem is you do not have, the communities really do not have a system where they understand that this is a season for projects in the council and you need to get your projects in the council, and this is what a project needs to look like. These are the things you need to do to develop a project proposal for it to submit to the council, or submit to the regional council, or submit to the public investment budget process, or through the different ministries. So when you have that, that lack of structure and information, right, it becomes very, very difficult. So there are things we're going to be working on to build capacity across the board, but also we'll build a system where we'll be releasing information to the public, right? So when the council is sitting, they have their session, we will release information. What did they discuss during that session? What are the follow up? How is what concerns the community during that session? I will disseminate the information because that is also a big piece of it. Transparency. I think
Mhm.
this sunlight is a mother of you know of
Energy and everything. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So if you provide, if you really provide transparency, right, so that people know, because a lot of this is obscurity, anything. If you really want to prevent people from seeing, from acting, knowing their rights, create darkness somewhere, put things inside a box and lock it so that people cannot see, right? I think that is a big problem here. You can see that in Lebang. What in Lebang is doing is they're shining the light. They
Yeah.
allow people to come to a forum and feel bold enough. And I think that's why in Lebang has to really also, and I'm glad the way they have handled Charles's death, because they need to give people the trust that if something happens to them, then Lebanon will come to their defense, that they will do everything possible to protect people. Because that's the problem, especially with the crisis on the ground. Many people don't want to talk. I'm saying because I grew up in Minji, and you have a lot of information. People know information in Minji. They just don't want to talk
Oh,
because of this worry, you
yes.
know.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, CEO. But let me go back to you because uh, you know, like I keep thinking, because we were talking about Charles, we're talking how in Caliban. I mean, in 2 months, if that was a total transformation of the way things were going. Well, I would not say the way things are even going. You see, Charles had all this information long time ago. Nobody even knew about him. I did not know about him. I already knew him from Lebang Fondon Forum. When they started deleting his message, I said, but what is this guy really saying that they are deleting his messages? Then finally he knew about me because he saw the reporting. I think I even released one of the audio that he sent to me and was pleading that should we just lie down and forget and let this thing go like this? Will you want to fight me? Should I let it over to you? I mean, it was so touching, so emotional. Some people have proposed that in Caliban, the way they see it, like uh, they should register it in Cameroon, have some authorization, so that some of these things, if you are writing a letter to any authority, or you want to represent anything, or you are sending somebody, they should say, okay, we are acting on behalf of this organization with some letterhead that is authorized. Unlike, because unlike you will have to do something, then you have to go lean on, say, Rukudu, or lean on somebody that people are criticizing. People have said it repeatedly on the forum. Then Caliban need to register and become an entity that they can really follow up some of the issue themselves. Is that something that is behind discussion? Have you been listening to those messages? Is that something that maybe in the future or you may consider?
Dr. Ene, let me categorically say no. I will not be the one to create confusion in Lebang. Lebang has institutions that if those institutions function well, we will not become Lebang will be developed. Now, when they formed the Kudu in the early days, in the early 80s, all the bank people fell on embrace the Kudu. Now, if we go now and create another organization, Kelebang, because people are talking about Kelebang today, how do you look at in Kelebang 10 years to come? How do you look at a leadership that will come and not follow the trend? So what Kelebang is doing, if we go and register it as an independent association in the bank, we'll be creating more confusion in the bank. Let us strengthen what we have. If the Kudu is not doing his job, let's get the Kudu to his knee to do what he has to do for the bank people. And
No,
let's put the leaderships that can deliver. See, for example, what just happened with the Kudu USA. The Kudu USA at one point almost crumbled. Nobody ever believed at a certain time, if you happen to bring the founder of Fontaine alive today, he would not believe that the Kudu USA would have done what it has done. But you, Mr. Dr. Ernest, you bear in witness that me and you, we started the Winding Road project and constructed 2 bridges. From there, the Kudu started moving forward, and no one wants to let the Kudu USA fall today. So we can do the same by changing the Kudu. The Kudu is for Lebang people. Now, the chiefs and the camp of Lebang, they are there to serve Lebang people. The fund is there to serve Lebang people. Let us get these people do their job. Because if we create another one today, after 10 years, we have to create another one. So my
no,
plea
no.
is
Mbimba,
don't
no.
get me wrong. Kelebang is there to shine the light and bring the
Yes,
information out.
Mbimba, remember, yeah, objective. The objective of Kerebang are different from the objective of Lukudu. These are two independent entities. It's just like Barrister run an anti-corruption organization, which is registered. And I think it is through that procedure that he's able to write to the mayor, even though individual can still write, but he has that on behalf of this organization, registered, duly registered in Cameroon. This is a freedom forum where we are able to come in here and talk freely without fear, without anything, and say, okay, if something is happening, we see this thing happening, we say it. Because the structure, the preamble from Caliban is completely different from the preamble of Lukudu. Let us know. I'm not saying
All
that
right, doctor. All right, doctor. Let me ask, if this question is answered, they will know what is the role of the Kudu to Lebang people.
for
Want to
development,
know?
for development,
Okay, so what is the role of Calaban?
shine the light.
Thank you. So if these two can work together, what Calaban is doing now, we have to keep doing it.
No,
We
but
have to
what we're saying
document.
is you register and we have authorization so that if any person like what happened right now, we can say this is our member. If the kudu is not going forward or the other one is lacking, okay, man can say I have the right to come and shine the light here. Because people now you want to go request for information, nobody want to give to you because you are nobody.
Yeah,
So
doctor.
doc, I
Doctor,
think
information. No, let me. Information is the key of every success in life. What we fail to understand about people is we minimize information. Let me just set an example. I heard that a contractor in Limbe was taken to court. Limbe has no association. Individuals did that. So if in Calaban brings out information, that is the key. In Calaban, like Barrister said, information from Calaban may not be true. After
Mhm.
investigation, it may not be true. So in Calaban, if we create Calaban as independent and register it, that means we have to get members to be operating. But again, let me say why we'll be thinking about in the future. But for now, let us strengthen what we have. If we can get the Kudu, if those who manage the Kudu in Cameroon are not capable, let's get they are capable people who can do the job. If we get the right people, we don't need to create another association in the bank. But Caliban will keep doing what it's doing, bring out the information for everyone to act on. We are like the country. If you go to the preamble or the objective of Caliban is just a watchdog of projects given to the bank. But either be individual, the government, or an individual or the government. So for now, this is what we can do. And to me, I plead on all of our people. Let us get our institution to do their job. They are there to serve the people. Except somebody will tell me that the Kudu USA is not there to develop them. If it's there to develop them and they pick information here, they have the right to provide them people those services. Let's get the right people to do the right job for us. But again, I'm not really saying that throw that out in future. Maybe there will be a need for Caliban to be registered, but for now, I don't think that is the proper thing to do.
Okay, it appears maybe Pastor Otero, you wanted to say something in
Yes,
relation to
yes.
that.
So, you see, there's something about sustainability, um, which is usually the most important aspect of every entity, even a human being, right? It's all about survival. How do you live long as possible? So I think that is a challenge that Calabang is going to face. I'm just saying, just like somebody who has had training on institutional building. So if in Calabang does not find a way to clarify its position, statute, it's the bumper. The bumper is going to hit the road at a certain point. And I think the point people are making is that um, it's that Nketlebang, with everything as it's designed, right, on that
Yeah.
statute that they have set out, can they formalize it? I don't think people are saying that Nketlebang should go and do the job of Likodo National. No, they are saying the same statute that has been put in the forum. Can you institutionalize it? Can you make it such that, and I say this for example, there are so many organizations on the ground that operate, they define their scope, and they define their interaction and relationship with the mother organizations, with the core organization. I think that is what Dr. Kumba Mbembe is getting into, to say, and please, Lebang people need to be careful. As much as we're pushing the Kudu national um, so hard, there are things that they cannot do by the nature of the authorization and the nature of the bank. If you start trying to push the Kudu, I can understand if you try to push them to do certain things that does not really fall within their ambit to do, we're gonna pit the Kudu. We're gonna even make we might even destroy the organization. It might even get worse than what we find today. So there has to also be a very conscious effort to protect Lekudo National and strengthen it and let them handle certain things. Because once you start getting the very controversial thing, trust me, it's usually the outside actors that like Ketlebang, and that's why it's some sort of forming, making them institutionalized such that they can follow things up officially. Hell, because Cameroon is a very dangerous place. But not only that, Cameroon has laws, and then I can see that they are already facing problems where things are put on the platform, and there are people in this forum, in that Kelebang forum, who are agents of darkness. I don't know whether people understand that, who are agents of darkness. All they are doing is siphoning information from Caliban Forum, taking it and weaponizing it, right? They go to the SU and they weaponize it. They go to this and they weaponize it. So Caliban has to be careful also that there's a certain, to protect people, they might need some sort of legality, so that people can, if people are contributing and even sharing information, they also can be protected, because that's the other problem. You see, Charles death should also teach Caliban something, that they should take their responsibility serious. It's not easy. It's not just to come to the forum and talk, everybody, but people are going to be in serious jeopardy if Caliban does not have a way to protect people and does
Yeah.
not institutionalize themselves, whether it is here in the United States And they're not saying move out of your statute. No. That whatever you've decided to do, legalize that these things so that people are protected. So that even the US government can protect people who give information from Cameroon, because this is now a legal entity that all the that would benefit from all the protection rights that exist. So I agree with Bimbu that we need to be careful not to try to come across like we want to outcompete Le Kuru National, Le Kuru in Cameroon. That I think that would be very perilous for us. But again, it doesn't mean that people, Lebang cannot define its own scope as I've already defined and provide some legality to whatever they are doing to protect everybody who is in that ecosystem.
Yes, thank you, for that wonderful contribution. I think I think we will soon be rounding up. But let me ask Barrister this question before we give our closing statement. Barrister, talking about legality, what does it give an organization? Maybe raising it non-profit organization with a senior divisional officer, or which I think that should be the office. What does legality or authorization give an entity to operate? What does that, when you say, okay, you have to register this in order to do certain activity, in order to go, if you go somewhere, you want to go find out information, you are taking images or you are doing certain things. I just want you to maybe clarify a little bit what legalization of an organization really give that organization, the statute or whatever, what it really means in common terms.
Okay, okay. So when we look at Nkeleban, we see that it falls under the umbrella of non-profit organization or civil society organization. That's how I can situate in Nkeleban. But before I answer your question, I would like to say that if you see the way Nkeleban is coming up, it's like people there are really vibrant and they want to get information, they want things to happen, they want authorities to be accountable there in Lebang. So I think it will be proper for Lebang to be legally registered. That is not contradicting or trying to fight with Lekudu. You know, no single organization has the monopoly to do good for the society. No single organization. What is important is that the organizations that are existing are contributing towards nation building, which is what all of us we want. It must not come from a particular association. And also, development must not come, or good ideas must not come only from a particular individual. Anybody has the right also to, even privately, hold authorities accountable because the law makes provision for all that. So now, in order to register in Keleban, the 1919 law in Cameroon on freedom of association says that any association can exist either registered or unregistered. So the way in which Nkeleban is now is recognized by the law. Yes, but it has one limitation. Nkeleban cannot have a personal legal person. It cannot have a legal personality if it's not registered at the level of the senior divisional officer's office. So for Nkeleban to have legal personality according to the law, it must be registered at the office of the senior divisional officer. And as being a lawyer, I encourage that I think it would be a very good idea for Nkeleban to be legally registered so that when issues related to Nkeleban are raised anywhere, normally the first question that people, any reasonable man will ask is that association registered?
Right.
That's the first question that any reasonable person should will ask. And we know that the situation in which we find ourselves now is a very sensitive situation. We have the crisis, kind of stories may come up that this is a group that was created to do this or do that. We don't know because it's still in the air. But once Nkeleban has its certificate of registration, which can be brandished and even put at the disposal of all the members in the WhatsApp group, that this association has been duly registered. Even the members will have confidence when contributing finance, when participating in the activities of the group. So that registration is very important. Lekudu is a very big organization which has done a lot on ground, which everybody knows. But I think in Lebang, it's a sui generis group. It has its own peculiarities that everybody can identify with. So I think in order to protect the objective of Lebang, it will be proper to get it registered legally. Honestly, I think as a lawyer, that's the advice I can give, because through that registration, I know through the registration we can easily get funding, and so many things can easily be done. Whatever is done under the umbrella of Nkele Bank is well protected. The government should recognize it. National and international partners, and why not donors also, will recognize it and can easily support it also. So, and also we are doing it now. The next generation that are coming up also, they can continue with it. I think senior man here talk of sustainability. It's good that we get it registered so that it will not just end with us. Other Lebang people also can continue with it. So I think that's my suggestion. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Barrister. Maybe I think yeah, it's almost 1.5 hours, even though we started a little bit late. So that we'll round it again. We all the discussion is centered to to pay tribute to our brother Amindeh Charles, who was shot and killed last Thursday for advocating for all the discussion that we're having here. Development. He says one of his famous quote was no peace, no life, no project, no development. I mean, uh, you can really think of it. We are saying that this somebody will keep saying this, somebody will have all the first school or whatever, but here the kind of words that are coming out of his mouth, here the kind of messages, wisdom message that he is giving out there, is really a true hero. And I think his memory will live forever.
Dr. Kumber,
Yeah.
I see the viewers, I think they want to contribute. I don't know
Yeah.
if you're looking at the messages. So they're asking if
Oh,
they can post questions, which I think you
yes.
also.
I asked them to. Yes, I gave a phone number. The phone number is on the screen. It's 606-545-2490.
Yeah, and there are some people in the text
Yeah,
pan.
I saw, is it Fortuchan P. Muya? Can the viewer contribute by asking question? I will say yes. Uh, I will say yes. But if you are watching through your cell phone, then you may have to turn on your cell phone, or you may have a second cell phone, unless you are watching us on the TV or on the TV screen. Then you can call 606 545-2490. It's either WhatsApp or direct call. Maybe you can give. Bimbo, I know you have earlier indicated that you need to be in church. Uh, let's just give maybe few minutes for anybody who wants to call in, and maybe uh, and maybe say anything. As I was saying, that this is Charles was really a true hero. You see, I look at him from my media point. I said, this is a journalist. This is an investigating journalist. People were calling him by advocate, a lawyer, which truly he was. And Barrister came in and stated very clearly, without even listening to some of the conversation, just for interacting with him in the forum for just 2 months, people could pinpoint. So I think it's really painful, no matter how much we sit here and talk. But I think this man, there's a lot that we will learn from him. Try to be truthful. Try to maybe do things with some morality, with some dignity. Not just thinking all about ourselves, getting money. You know, I think that's a moral message that we should be able to enumerate. Uh, then, any word from you or closing remark? Or, yeah, closing. No,
Maybe
sorry, you are muted.
That, oh, sorry.
Yes. Okay. Sorry, I think let's take this call. Let's give them some time.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this will be Mr. Gandhi Aloysius. Yes, can you hear me?
hear you.
Yes. Okay, you go ahead. You want to give your contribution?
I didn't follow the program from the start, but I just want to say that the Charles that we're talking about, I didn't really know him, but for the short time that I read about what he was saying in the Lebang forum that I used to be there before I left, and then this forum, I knew that he was somebody who was really, really dedicated to the development. Personally, I didn't agree with his party approaches, partisan politics approaches, but the truth is that he was the guy that was firmly committed to development. And in my opinion, I think the only way we can remember Charles is to fight for accountability and transparency in the execution of public projects in Lebang. So that is why again, I may be wrong, but that's my opinion. I am for the fact that we have to unearth those contractors and all the contracts, make sure that they execute the projects according to the terms of the contract. And if they don't execute the projects, we have to take them to court. That is why I disagree with Pamela when he brought the information that money was being contributed for Amber. That was absolute nonsense. That was stories created by people to destabilize the contributions of money. And I don't even know why Pamela could buy into such nonsense. So again, believe it or not, those criminals, those legal criminals, if they are not taken to a court of law, and an example is that nothing will change. So the only way we can remember Charles is to go in for those contracts and those contractors, because the assassination of Charles might not have been the bank person, but it's inextricably linked to those contracts, because there are a lot of people involved in it who do the cover up. So again, I want to thank each and everybody that has been tribute to it to Charles, and I want to use this opportunity to call all the bank people. Let us contribute the money that the condolence token that we were contributing for Charles. I mean, that money is going to be given to his mother again.
Okay.
And he was living with his mother in Dakwe. And I think this is an opportunity for us to equally show our support.
Okay.
Thank you so very much.
Yes. Thank you. I think the next caller is on the line. Let me just take this one again. I think the next caller, I think that should be, I cannot see that. Maybe a self Richard. Yes. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, gather viewers.
Yes.
Having listened to, this is Asaf Otucha. Having listened to the panel discussion, I think I can suggest a way forward for the legality of Lebang. Lebang doesn't need to be registered as an association or any other thing, but they can be registered as a paper and they'll be protected and they'll get information where they can be a whistleblower without any problem and they'll be protected. The problem would be, will Lokodo be willing to register Lebang as the owners without it? If and others are doing it, they will also have to bear responsibility for some false information. That also can be taken care by writing on their platform the views of every participant is their responsibility. By doing that, they will also get out of that clause of where they can be held accountable for what people say on Calibang without the rare owners bearing the burden. It's a very short thing. It can be done without any big problem. It can be legally where they will enter any office and they will get any information that they want.
Okay. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Maybe I can please answer that question. I can please say something in relation to what he has said.
Yes.
Because he is saying that it doesn't need to be registered. If, for instance, let's say Okay, maybe some members from Lebang, they approach a government office. They say, okay, we are coming on behalf of Lebang. We wish to get information in relation to this contract or in relation to this, and that. And they ask the people that is your association registered, what would they say?
I have an
They
answer.
only
They can register under the Kodo. The Kodo has
no
the
no
right
no, no.
to have a paper.
Yeah, please, I'm still I'm talking, sir.
Okay.
In Cameroon, we are talking here based on law. We are not just talking here because we just want to talk. We are talking based on law. The only law regulating associations in Cameroon is the 1990 law on the freedom of association. And for you to be legally recognized and have legal personality is when you register at the senior divisional officer's office. That's the only procedure. And there is a document to that effect.
Okay, sorry, we lost Barrister. I think his network, he's calling from Boya. I think we lost his network. I think I'm not very familiar with what as Fodichan was alluding to register a paper. I don't know. I think that was what.
I stand by it. Lukodo itself had he has done publication. It's just that they didn't register. But as an organization, they have a right to own a paper. And if anybody from Calaban goes to anywhere, if it was registered under Likodo, they are protected.
Okay.
So
Yeah, thank you.
let
This
me
is
come
one.
in. Yeah, let me come in. I think we have to be careful. As I say, institutional building, it's something you look at, you do risk management. And you really don't want someone else, people to inherit someone else's risk. You don't want the Kudo inheriting the risk that is going to come from Ketlebang. You don't want Ketlebang to inherit the risk that comes from the Kudo. Somewhere people have to see that um, the role of Ketlebang, it's very defined and independent. Because once you start linking things up like this, you're going to trust me. It's just a way to create problems, headache for Likudo itself. So I think Likudo has a defined mission. We're going to stay on that mission. Ketlebang has their own defined mission. They should stay on that mission. And there's going to be a conflict, whether we like it or not. There's going to be time when Ketlebang wants information and Lekudo might think that that's not going to be helpful for their own interest. And Nkeleban is going to see that it's helpful to what Nkeleban seeks to do. So you really, and that is
Yes,
okay.
CEO, because let me step in because one of the questions that I asked Mbemba in one of our presentation was that what happened if Lukudu members donate money to go carry on and give money to someone to go carry on project? Nkedebank has the right to shine light on that person.
Right.
If now Lukudu is concluded with it, how would Lukudu investigate itself? So that's what I was saying. Say, for example, they have raised money, they give to the CEO. Have often a time I've questioned you, what project were you able to carry on? How much money were you able to spend? You tell them during your term of office.
Right.
If in Bank give money, or members of the Kudu donate money to the CEO to go carry on project, Bank has the right because you are shining light on project, not only on the council, on any project, any money that
Correct.
comes to the bank.
Correct.
The bank should be able to go and say, hey, we'll give money to this CEO, we'll give money to this general organizing secretary. This president said they wanted to go buy benches for school, they have not done it. That money has disappeared. The bank should be able to work neutral and independent to be
Right.
able to follow that Lokudu, not linking it. I said, for do you see with us?
Yes, I still see with you, and I have a little bit of disagreement with the CEO emeritus in the form that we keep on saying that the Kodo has its role. The Kodo as an organization also has a constitution, which they will use in doing their registration. They can make Nkeleban completely independent without listening to any other people. It depends those who will run it, how it will be run.
Okay.
As an media, I understand that you can be so strong to a point that
you will be able to do things that way. The problem is funding. In Lebang, I don't think that it deserves much funding. It's not going to print. It's not going to do anything. It's just a social media. But in order for you to register it or to do anything to have it, you must have owners.
Yeah, but I think we again.
You must have owners.
I think somebody was calling. Someone person was.
People, then
No, I said, we want to be careful, please. We want to be careful. Lekudo,
real Kodo coming in. Without it, let him just go ahead and register it like Guardian Media or any other media. But that would then we have owners, and the owners can dictate how it will be run. But if it has to be something that belongs to the community, who will be rightfully be the owner? You just need to come out with a constitution that will be able to tell you how it can be run, how it should be able to operate. Yeah, Dr. Ernest, can I
Yes.
say I think to cut this story short, let me tell you, in Calabar, he's just 2 months old, and if we rush to conclusions, we may be taking a wrong direction. I remember in 2020, when I organized the Lukudu USA Virtual Convention, the theme of the convention was Lebang at Crossroad. And you believe with me now that Lebang is really at Crossroad. That we really need to take our time. At Crossroad means if we can make a mistake and derail and take a different direction, for us to come back again and go the other direction, it will take us years. So I believe that the idea of registering Kalama is not bad. We will think about it. There's a team working behind the scene. We cannot just simply that today. For
Yes.
example, when
Okay.
Mr. Joe Fuenda took over Lekudu, he
Yes. Just stand by.
a newspaper called Nkange. When Mr. Fuenda took Lekudu, he registered Nkange as independent newspaper for Lekudu, which later on died. So I mean that registering it does not really say if it's going to live. So, but let's put it as food for thought. Caravan should keep on operating as it is, keep on shining the light, while we get the right way to move with it.
Okay. Yes. We'll have another caller on the line. I think this is Mr. Leke Rene. Any contribution?
Yes, thank you guys so much. Thank Lebang so much. Thank Gaza Media for broadcasting this to us. Listen, I'm following up with what is happening, with what is going on. Charles Amindeh is gone. That's my brother. We spoke behind the scenes several times. And there was one time that Charles told me, brother, send me to Germany. Send me to Germany. They're going to kill me. I said, listen, hold on. I will do that. But Charles, there's not going to be anybody. No one is going to come out like Charles. Charles has spoken the truth and only the truth. And all of us, Lebanon people know the truth, but they cannot say it. Everybody is afraid of his or her life. Everybody. But let's say the truth as Charles did. But let me tell you, what Mbebiola is saying, that they should not legalize this in Lebang. I bet you this in Lebang should be legalized. Should be registered. I'm following directly with the barrister is saying. Let's follow the barrister and legalize this thing in such a way. Anybody, if you are saying something, you are saying something wholeheartedly, without fearing of bias, without fearing of anything. So let's go ahead and register in Lebang. If you don't register in Lebang, and Lebang is not the same as Lukudu. Lukudu has its own mission. There are two different entities. Lukudu has his own mission, Lebang has his own mission. Lebang is just to bright the light, just to shine the light of what our project, or those projects that has been taken. They are not executing their project. That is what Lebang is doing. And they have to legalize their business to say, yes, we are just here to bright the light, to see those who are the thieves, to bring out the thieves. And that is what Charles was doing. And nobody in Lebang will ever do what Charles did. May his soul rest in peace.
Yes. So that is my other contribution. Thank you, Mr. Ede. Thank you, Gaza Media. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for your contribution. I mean, Charles was really a hero. That is our brother. I mean, he has lived a vacuum that. And let me tell you something. Remember, you should listen to the people. Remember that you should listen to the people. What the people are saying.
Can you come down, sir? Can you come down? Let's talk.
Don't
We are
dictate and
contributing.
listen to the people. Remember that. Just sit and listen. If they say that the barrister, we have the barrister there. Let the barrister is giving us the red, how
I
to
can't hear anything.
make this organization be
Can you
legalized.
tell him to
I
come
can't
down?
hear.
So we
I'm
get
not
the
listening. My
information.
sound system has an
Okay.
issue. I can't
Tell
hear.
him come down.
Okay. Yeah.
So Gaza Media,
We hit you. Thank
yeah,
you.
Gaza
Thank you.
Media,
Yeah.
Gaza Media. Yes. So Rene is our president of for the Ngangali meeting, just so that people can understand. Charles is a brother to us, as I said, a very direct brother to Rene. So so please let's bear with Rene, because when you lose someone who is very close to you, and it's not just about family, right? To us from the lower Lebang, Charles was an advocate. There are a lot of problems that Charles was helping to solve, because that area, a lot of our people are not educated, right? And Charles was that person who, 2003, just so that I provide some, but 2003, I added Charles and my grandfather for Tabang 2, George Lebang. They went to Bamende, right, for training on community forestry. And so you can understand that this is Charles, who people say was uneducated, but this man wanted everything when it came to their area. He was an advocate. He wanted to defend the area and wanted development so bad. So maybe just bear with Rene. I think it's just that emotion of him feeling, us feeling that loss. I know so many of us here came to know Charles through Kelebang, but many of us, Charles is a brother. To us, specifically, Charles is a brother, right? Who are brothers of Charles and come from the same area, have been with Charles for a long time. Our feeling is different. So I just pray that we in the panel
Yeah.
appreciate that
Okay.
and understand where Rene is coming.
I think the lawyer is having Barrister Young. I think you're having network issue. We're almost rounding up. We're just giving closing statement before trying to round up before a few calls came in. I think we really need to continue to celebrate the life of our brother Bimbo. Thank you so much, at least for I mean
I
for
okay.
really giving an opportunity through Caliban forum, because you saw what was going on in other forums. You were not happy. People were frustrated, and you came on with a bright idea, and people embrace it. In 2 months, look at where we have.
Yeah.
And I think what people are just trying to say is, how do we protect people in Caliban Forum? How do we, so that something that happened to Charles should not happen again? So that somebody is seeing somebody have maybe some kind of legal backing if I have to go ask of certain information. If some medical equipment is lying in China that is destined for being there, somebody has some legal authorization to say, hey, I'm from this organization and the watchdog from this organization. Can you can I see the document that I just want to have a look? I'm not taking them to anywhere, but I have some legal binding to look at this. I think that is all what people just I think it's something that we'll brainstorm on it. We'll have some conversation on this on the forum and people will give ideas. Terence, let me go. Either of you can go. I think Bimbo, let me start with you, then Terence can conclude.
Yeah, thank you, Gaza Media, again for your wonderful contribution. And I will call on the Lebang forumers for us to come down. The echo is somewhere.
Yes, because Barrister was on a call with me, then he came in. I think his network is shaking, but yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I'm calling on Calabang forumers to come down and said what or the only honor we can give to Charles is to make sure that Calabang shines more than ever before, without fear of any favor. And I want to call on those who are in this forum, the relevant people who are getting information and turning it around their own way and turning it to administration to turn it in Calabar. That we don't see them, but the God of Lebanon sees them. There are agents in here, which I do not know for what reason. They take information, turn it around, and give to administration to turn in Calabar. Depending if you are part of it, if you are a contractor, if you know what is going on, the best thing you do what the Lebanon people want. Because no matter how you turn the message, if the result will one day come out. You cannot hide under the sun. This is called light, and light takes away darkness. So I call on us all that this forum is running up to 1,000 people. Let every Lebanon man stand. But we already see that Lebanon is going, and thank God, it's often said traditionally that an animal that sees the gun doesn't die anymore. I think that what we have seen from Charles, it clearly indicates that the bank was really, really, really down in deep shape. And now Charles has sacrificed his life for us to change the bank. And that is the only pride we can give to him. And I plead that registering Caliban is no issue, but we have to talk behind. There's a team working behind the scene, and we'll continue working. Because you cannot register Caliban. We're having a strong team on the ground. Caliban cannot stay in America and control Caliban. We need a strong team on the ground. But that again cannot just happen within a twinkle of an eye. We have to discuss behind the scene to see how possible that will work. Meanwhile, we should keep moving as we are going. If you have any information, bring it up. Thank God, Charles led something for us to work on. These contracts, which Charles already informed us, we are behind it. And if you're a contractor, again, make sure you go and do that job. What we need is that job to be done. So let the bank sit up and we change the bank. It's us to change the bank. Nobody will change the bank for us. Let's turn and look at one money, look at our law. Every man will be ashamed, you big or small. So let us put our hands together. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Mbemba. Terence, again, the number that you can contribute in a widow's mind is the Momo in Cameroon is 682-2024-35, and the Z number in the US is 781 346 5728. Terence, in the last word.
Yeah, right. So first, thank you, Gaza Media, for the opportunity to eulogize our brother Charles Amindeh and to Mbembe Ale, whom I've worked with Mbembe for a long time, and he's always been a leader. Um, and I think with Kelebang, just shining that light, it's important and necessary, especially at this time. And there are people who would say Charles's demise might have been exacerbated by the presence of Kelebang. I don't think they will be wrong because Kelebang came and provided everyone who was a champion of transparency, and I usually say Transparency International, to provide information, educate our people, create awareness, sensitize our people, and then elicit feedback from the community that, okay, you have this information. Are you guys going to do something about it? So I think Caliban should really be proud that they also contributed to Charles being able to do what he wanted to do, that he's always been doing, which is advocacy, you know, which is advocacy. And Ket Lebang provided that opportunity for Charles to help Lebang when it comes to development. And we, from a family point of view, I also want to thank Bembe Ale for the initiative that he championed to not just to eulogize Charles and give him some sort of a decorum in the forum, but also the contribution to support Charles's burial and rally resources to support Charles's mother. I know the whole family, as I said, these are the entire family, passes through our house. We come from my mother, is a daughter of Chief Watabong. As history goes, the chief who fought and extended the boundaries of Lebang and chased for Tabong 3 to cross Betasa and Bia, the river called Betasa and Bia, and go further away. And he fought the Mbo and the Bayangis and brought two heads of the Mbo to Fontema Songai. And Fontema Songai said, okay, because you are such a powerful uh, guy, I'll make you chief. And also, Charles was part of trying to help me take my grandfather. You know, my grandfather for Tabong. I don't, and I think this is the first time I'm saying this. My grandfather, the chief of Esau and George Lebang, who is an old chief, was also arrested in Takwe and detained in Menji and then sent to the military prison in Boyer. And I had to fight so hard. And Charles was also part of that fighting. Going to Boya, taking upon himself to go figure out the best way he can facilitate the process of, helping my grandfather to come out of that imprisonment. At the end of the day, even though he didn't really contribute much, but I really, we are grateful that he even had that interest because he grew up, with a successor there, and I did everything, and I thank God that my grandfather is out of prison and the charges were dismissed. And again, I say this to speak to Lebang that we're dealing with a very volatile situation on the ground because my grandfather was arrested on allegations that were made up, and that's what is happening on the ground. If people just accuse you, and then what happens, they take you to the military comes overnight, arrest you, or sometimes people are using, even people might go through the boys on the ground and then accuse somebody, and before you know, people are losing their lives very innocently. And Charles was somebody who was very verbose.
Important. Mhm.
Yes, he was so outspoken, and sometimes people felt like um, they were being targeted, right? But just in a lot of cases, um, just he would just say things like he would say, "Oh, he's fighting the CPDM. He's trying to rally money to go and remove the voices in the bushes." But I really think, and some of us used to caution him that no, you also have to make sure you're talking in a responsible manner. But that was his nature, right? And you can imagine some people might hear that and say, oh, so it means he wants to go and take out people. So you can see that we also, and I need to make sure that in the forum, and I think he's been doing a great job making sure that people are communicating responsibly and lowering the temperature, because at the end of the day, we really want everybody in the bank to be united. We want to seek accountability, which I think that is really the key thing. But we also want to do it in a way that is non-partisan. It's fair. There's due process, right? Because sometimes the initial information that might come out or might come to you might not be authentic. So it's always good for people to take a step back before they release information. And this is just a general caution. In Gaza Media, Charles has come to your platform to Lebang multiple times and has even said he went to a meeting that he was sitting with the SEO, and people who are in the council and whatever were there accusing me and telling the SEO that, oh, you see that CEO like that is Amber because he's coming to do his projects. So you have a lot of this going on in Lebang, that when you come and you're working hard trying to do things, doing big things, you start having jealousy, envy, people start fighting you, and they just defame you, right? They go clandestine and go and attribute, names, do name calling, and try to find a way to take you out. Because when I came and took over Likudu, to be honest with you, I fought like hell. And I said, you know what? I am not going to accept something that is wrong, has been going on for a long time, where people just sit there and they think that we should not come and do our development program. And I made Lekudo also very neutral. That means with anything that was a barrier to our development, we have communication, we have conversation, we try to lobby, we try to, play. And because of it, and we did not take sides. If you notice, people wanted us to take sides. Lekudo USA. We didn't take sides. We stayed on our lane, which is development. And anybody who was there to provide development, we stayed on it. Even when people were trying to raise allegations, for their own personal reasons, we didn't pay attention in it. We knew that the local community and our members understood that we don't get us into politics. So I really want to close by saying, let the Lebang shine. Let them promote Charles's legacy, which is accountability and transparency, and that we all will work together to make Lebang a better place. And again, Bembu Ale, if people send you a list of these projects, because I think this is part of the problem. When justice is delayed, justice is denied. If anybody sends you a list of these projects, please go ahead and release it. Because I believe that if we had passed that stage of what are the projects, maybe Charles would have now been following up with instead be focusing on a solution, right? And not longer the problem. And that would have lowered the temperature. So there is no procedure with releasing information for projects. This information, Mbembele, I can tell you, you can send somebody to Boya. They'll go to the treasury. The treasury pays all these contractors. They'll go there and get the information. The document is all over. The logbook, project logbook is all over. The council, this thing is all over. So people who are listening to us, you might have people who have this information. So we are pleading that if they have this information, they should share it with Bimbu Ale and let Bimbu Ale go ahead and release it. We should not be writing a letter to seek for information that it's available, And when they release it, then the community can take it to the next level. Okay, this project was assigned to this contractor. Who is a contractor? Is it a councillor? Can the councillor come and do this project, complete their project? Okay, if they're not willing to complete it, what is the community going to do about it? This thing is so simple. And we have kept 2 months and people are fighting over, they have daggers, pulling out daggers for no good reason. Maybe if we had put this thing in the forum, people will move to the next step, which is to find a way to resolve with the contractors so that they have a timeline when these projects will be completed.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah, thank you, Terence. I think Charles. Like I've never met him. I don't know him. Maybe he just saw the work that Gaza Media was doing. I must stay here that he passed away before I listened to one of his message that he sent to me, because a lot of messages come to me. Sometimes you want to look at this before you realize you have forgotten. Where he sent me a private message that I would really love to play. I posted it again. I would really want to share here. It's just about 44 seconds to end here where he was asking Gaza Media to continue to fight. I felt so much for that. Okay, Gaza Media, we are proposing, should we stay quiet? The habit of abandoned projects continue. Or we should criticize. So that maybe you will do it. Just two things. We are asking a question, so we need answers. But it is not successful and the breach is there. What happened? And many other things. Should we stay quiet or we should talk? So that maybe it can be changed. And if they can enjoy their own rights, their own fruit. Thank you very much. We need answers from you. Charles, bye bye. I think that was so emotional to me. That's why every time I just listen to it, I say maybe our philosophy align with that of Charles. And I want to thank you both for coming. The barrister is having the network in and out. At least, I thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I know you were supposed to be in church by now. At least it's for you are fighting for the less privileged Terrence. We are all the same. We are living sitting here in the US, fighting for some people thousands of miles away. I think it's just the heart that you have for your people. It's not for yourself. I would strongly believe that because you are here in the US, if you like, who cares? Nothing will happen to you, but you think that there are some people, you have some lineage that you cannot sit back and see your people. And that's why we're here spending this time doing all that we are doing and we'll continue to do so. Please, if you want to chip again, especially to the family of Charles, his mother, the number in Cameroon is 682202453 35, sorry. And the Z number in the US is 781 346 5728. Give whatever you have so that at least, you can help the mother for some time. Charles was like the breadwinner in their house and he's gone. And I think I will wish him a safe journey. I will continue to keep his legacy alive. And I will try my best, convince the Gaza media staff to continue to do that as well. I want to thank you all. Wish everyone a happy Sunday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.